See you later. It's Monday. And today's question of the day is, would you rather never be able to brush your teeth or hands again? Tough call. It's gorgeous. Well, guys, I hate to leave you hanging on Mondays like that. It was kind of a late start with everything. So, it is what it is. But, I mean, the question of today, where I don't even know where my calendar is. It's actually like 1 in the morning, Tuesday, technically. 1:43 in the morning. It's early and I have to go to work in a couple hours, but sometimes I just get wrapped up in things. Now, you might notice I rearranged the room a little bit because I'm working on some artsy stuff. But back to the question of the day. Question of the day, would you rather never be able to brush your teeth again or wash your hands? Now, you know what? Instead of doing the normal where I sit down at the computer and we do it early 2000s vlog style, I'm actually going to just read them and not upload the pictures because I want to get this out right now and I need to go to bed. So over on Facebook, I've got Kyle Vaden says, never wash your hands. So we have one hands. Ty says, never wash your hands again. Brushing your teeth is way more important. So I'm 2 on the wash hands. Ryan Henley, nice to hear from Ryan Henley. Never wash hands again. So there's 3 on the hands so far, and that's Facebook. Over on Twitter, I got one response. Stone, never brush my teeth because I do good things with my hands. Stone, I'm not sure how to take that. I hope you have good intentions in what you're writing, sir. Next up, let's go over to Instagram. Instagram actually is where I got all the responses today. Ray Pius says, this is a tough one. I'd say brush teeth. I buy a lifetime of mints, though. Melissa, hands, because inevitably they would get wet when you bathe, do dishes, laundry, etc. Flower Femme says hands. Jam says hands, they get wet when you go swimming, whatever. And they won't rot or cause pain or sometimes worse like teeth would. Let's see. Honestly, don't have a good day. Hey, have a good day to you too, Favelize Gaming. Donnie Hebert says, I ate way too much sugar to never brush my teeth again, so have to say hands. So hands seems to be the hands down winner. So I got a couple more responses over here. Bill's fan 808 Casey, nice to see from you too, man. Wash hands. Nerf Herder 17 teeth. I could get them cleaned. Cozy Bear 87, if I could still take showers by default, my hands get washed. So there's a lot of people thinking that through, saying that, you know what, they're gonna get wet anyways. Speaking of hands, my hands are dirty. I got boo-boo water on them. No, it's paint. But KFC Kyle 2003 said I would never want to be able to, or I would want to never be able to wash my hands, teeth, or everything to me. So some people, there's some good points, you guys, man. You guys made some great points on these today. I was thinking, I mean, personally, I don't know, the hands thing, it's probably teeth just cause, but I feel like I do a lot of hands stuff that I really want to make sure my hands are good, because I can't make cool things with my teeth. Hands are everything to me. So I think maybe hands, and that's my reason, is because all the stuff that I do with them. But before I end this thing, I was thinking of today's one about the whole, like, toothbrushing yesterday's, or the one before about the bathing or showering. They're interesting questions, but they kind of like, they're slightly judgy. It's like, ew, I wouldn't want to be in my own pile of filth water or whatever. And I don't want, like, I don't want anybody's answers or anyone to feel like, oh, I'm not going to answer because I might be judged. I mean, one of the first questions was, do you pick your nose? So there's that. But I don't want anyone to ever feel like, oh, I can't answer that, because then people will think I'm weird for said answer. And as I was thinking that, especially about today's, like, oh, what if someone's like, oh, well, teeth over hands? That's the point of these, is to kind of get everybody talking, not to judge or think a certain way about certain people. And on that same freaky, weird vibe, because we're all getting to know each other here, but in that same weird kind of vibe of that uncomfortable knowing too much about each other kind of deal, it's hard to not confront and talk about what's going on in the world. Now, my channel, the Dano channel, is a manifestation of all things me, be it Star Wars, be it Disney, be it artwork, be it hanging out with my kids and doing weird stuff. It is everything me. One thing that I've kept off of the channel, and for the most part plan to keep off the channel, is, hey, I don't have a hat on, that's kind of weird. But one of the things I plan to keep off the channel is politics. Politics are polarizing. They really, like, when I think about it, it to me it says, at the end, if we talk politics in a video, this goes two ways. I'm either not gonna like you as much based on your comments, or you're not gonna like me as much based on things, or it's gonna go the opposite, where you're gonna like me more and I'm gonna like you more. But either way, it's one of those things. It's tough. It's like I wanna talk about what's been going on, because it is important. It's very important. But again, I also like to think that my channel is a bit of escapism. It is. It's Star Wars, it's fantasy, it's artwork. But being the person that I am, being who I am, who grew up listening to punk music, ska music, the kind of stuff that, like, I was really, really younger. When I was younger, I was really, really active in activism, I guess the way to say it. I was very involved in my younger years with stuff like that. Of course, once I had kids and everything, I kind of settled down. Honestly, I quit caring quite at all. Not caring, but I kind of unplugged from a lot of stuff. Personally, I don't watch the news because I don't feel that it can be trusted. During my punk rock days, I was into a lot of alternative media. And one of the things that I really learned and realized was that for-profit media, news that is made for profit, has advertisers, anything like that, cannot be trusted. It can't. I'm sorry. There's no way it will ever be 100% unbiased and pure. It's just not. The second you introduce money into anything, it gets skewed and messed up. Sorry, I'm watching Netflix in the background here. It's throwing me off. Little House of Cards going on. But, so this also gets me in the whole political thing. I love House of Cards, by the way. How about you? But so back to the whole thing with media. One of the worst things about what's going on in the world right now, and what's going on in our country specifically, is whether you like what's going on or you don't like what's going on. Right now, I think for all sides, we're all having a hard time finding out what exactly the truth is. Nobody is being told the complete truth from any media outlet anywhere at all. And that is the scariest part, is that we don't know what information we can trust. Sure, we share things on Facebook and we look at things, but anything you read, like anywhere, I don't care what website it is, if there are advertisements and money involved, it is not to be 100% trusted. Take everything you read and see and just think like, you know what? There was an agenda here, but there are ads on this page. There's an agenda here. Should I believe this 100%? And again, this goes for people on all sides of any argument. Personally, I'm just going to put it out there. I am more of the liberal type, if you want to say that. I don't even align in that area so much. I'm out there. I'm just saying, I am out there. Far from a conservative, if you want to put that label. I hate labels like that, because people are much more than side A or side B. There's so many gray areas, and even areas further than that. And to confine someone's thoughts and their emotions and their beliefs on things into a yes or that kind of thing it's a disservice to people. So I don't like to jump into I'm this party, I'm a Democrat, I'm a Republican. I don't do that. It's just not. I hate them all. How about that? Does that work? I feel like that's just the best way to do it. So, but the thing that I want to, there has to be a purpose here. What I want to talk about before, when I'd mentioned that maybe my vlogs can be a learning opportunity, somewhat a period of growth, a way to like. I want you guys to come away with something from this. I don't want it to just be you watching me playing with my dog, picking my nose, and going to stores. So I want to open a little bit of a dialogue here with us, but more so, I want you to talk to the people in your life. Maybe someone who you don't agree with, or maybe someone you do agree with. Preferably someone you don't agree with, or even your kids. Or kids, talk to your parents about this. And this is the question I think is more important than the brush your teeth or wash your hands kind of deal. Is, where do you get your news from? And why do you feel that you can trust it? Kids, if you're watching this and you're one of my younger viewers, ask your parents that. So, I was watching Dano channel and he was talking about all the crazy stuff going on in the world. And he said, I should talk to my parents about where we get our news and why we believe we can trust it. And maybe consider reading alternate news, even if it's not from a source that aligns with your side. What I'm trying to get at is that it's really hard for any of us to have a clear picture of what's going on if we're only looking at our one side of things. The more we look at everything in a broader spectrum, the more we can really understand what's going on. But if we're only paying attention to media outlets and news that is skewed a certain way, it's really hard to get a full picture and be able to figure out what truth is in there. Because I'm sure there's truth in what these media outlets are saying if they have advertisements. I'm not saying that they're all lies and completely wrong, but I'm saying that there's truth in there somewhere, but how it's skewed and how it's portrayed may not be the same angle that they're shoving it down our throats in. And the only real way to get a full picture is to see all sides of it. And it's just with people's emotions getting so passionate about what's going on, I feel like there's a bigger game at play here, and we're all falling into this system where we're being really reactionary, really jumping the gun on our emotions and the way we act and the way we respond to things before fully 110% thinking them out. So kids, talk to your parents, ask them, where do you get your news and why do you think it's trustworthy and valid? And then maybe talk about or look at other types of news. Parents, talk to your kids about this kind of stuff. Talk to them about what's going on in the world, even if you have to dumb it down a little bit, because you will. If you're talking to kids, they're not going to understand all the nuances and everything of what's going on right now. They're not. But there should be a dialogue happening between kids and their parents and parents and their kids. That's the most important part to me. All you 20, 30-somethings that also watch this, I love you guys, but I need you guys to talk to each other. If you have kids, great. That's the most important one to me, is having the conversation with your children. And I'm not saying shove your beliefs down their throat. I am saying talk about where you get your information. And maybe you'll learn something if you really sit down and think about it. I think that's it. I think I'm gonna have to leave it there. I don't like to get like that. I don't like to do that, but I feel like not doing it is a disservice. It's a lie, because that is something that I am personally very involved in. It's where my head is at a lot these days, and it's hard to keep that out of the vlog. So I'm trying to do so in as clear a way that we can all kind of get along. And I do kind of invite you guys to have an open discussion with me if you want to in the comments. But the second anybody is rude or harassing another person, I'm going to shut it right down. Just that's it. I mean, there's already filters on my channel, so if you try to comment with certain words, they won't show up. So don't even try. I mean, if you want to try, go for it. But like, come on, it's just dumb. So that's what I'm saying. Nothing but love and respect for each and every one of you, no matter what color, sex, religion, where you came from, what you believe in, which side of the aisle you fall on. I don't care. People are people. You guys for coming here, hanging out, watching these, you're awesome, and I love you either way. just so much respect for you guys to come out and spend a few minutes of your day listening to this dongus ramble about whatever. It is definitely appreciated. And I want to talk to you guys. I want to learn more about you, where you come from, why you think the way you think, and maybe you'll learn about me and why I think the way I think. And that's what this whole thing's all about. So until tomorrow, I'm going to say, may the force have with you. And goodbye forever.